Syndrome workshop, and I wanted to talk about self-care because I feel like so many people push past self-care on a regular basis, and for me self-care is ultimately the most important thing we need to do, and we need to prioritize self-care over everything nearly, like it's a fine line. And then obviously there's times where we can't prioritize self-care. So there, I'm just after dancing, so my nose is all red. And those times you can't prioritize self-care, they're the moments that you, ooh, 2 seconds. I realise I'm missing my necklace that fell off in the middle of dancing. And it's so pretty, so I want to show you. Got it the other day. Totally inspired by a lady I'd seen wearing it. Remy wearing something similar but totally more amazing in a different way, and so anyway, I saw it and I was like, that's the one for me. So yeah, self-care, and you know, what's self-care and how do we look at self-care, and for me self-care is like, you know, is like when your body says no, answering to that no. Because if we can't answer to our own no, how do we expect anyone else to really respond to our no's? Hopefully you can hear me pretty good. There's some traffic, but there's a gorgeous sunset which you're not really getting. Here, show me. There you go. There you go. That's what I was trying to show you actually. But anyway, you got a little bit more there. We're very close to the sea here. And I'm on the way home, but I wanted to just come out and share this with you in this moment, because I was dancing, because I'm leaving there running over, and I'm going to self-care because my back is getting a little bit sore and I didn't have a good sleep last night. So I'm just like, my body's like saying no. And what I feel like is so many people, and I'm really going to speak into women, but men do it as well, and every other gender, like the aspect of drinking a coffee or taking painkillers to get over something so they can deliver something. And I understand if that's like in a place where there's a huge amount of money and it's like a small amount of time, and therefore you can respond and heal from that. But if you are a person that keeps consistently ignoring that on a daily basis, that's where a place where your body gets ill. So it's like, how do we stay in this place where we can actually hear what our body says and listen and respond? So it's like if you treat your body like a adult, but maybe a child, and the baby's like, I have to sleep, or the baby's like, I'm hungry. No, I don't like that. Like, how do you respond to that? You know, do you just keep ignoring it? No. You know, in general, that's what people do. They don't. So why do we do it to ourselves so much, and then we create disease in that whole capsule? So and self-care comes into a lot of different things. Like, self-care comes into how much time you have, you know, how much time you have in your day, and if you know, like, oh, I'm gonna have like 4 days off after this, so I know I can push myself a little bit more today. And it comes into a lot of different things. But what I do see from working with people for a long time, decades now, that they have a belief system that that they don't understand, like, why they're tired or why they're getting unwell or why they haven't been able to heal something. And it's like, well, what's your self-care like? And then they'll be like, oh, I rest, but like half a day on Sunday, or not even. And you're like, that's not actually self-care. Self-care is like when you really feel like you need to take time out, you take time out, at sometimes the expense of rejecting others, rejecting family, rejecting responsibilities. Because if we don't do that, eventually we won't be here to self-care. So like, it doesn't really matter about your responsibilities, your families, your friends, because they won't be there. You won't be able to engage with them because you'll get like adrenal fatigue or another dis-ease in the body. So the best way is consistently listening to the answer of the body and saying, yeah, you know, I'm not well, or I'm tired, or I'm hungry, or I'm thirsty, or I don't want to be around these people, or I want to be around these people, or I want to be in a different place. Less sun, more sun, cold, warm, like it's everything, you know, supermarkets, how you spend time online. It's like basically an endless process. So, I'd love you to respond to it by sharing a little bit of self-care with me and telling me like what's your idea of self-care, what maybe is the idea of what maybe the idea of self-care is, but what the idea of like you feel like you might be lacking in self-care. I think that's really important. Yeah, and having these conversations with people and noticing maybe you don't self-care, maybe other people self-care, not you. Hiya, just talking to myself on my phone. Yeah. So in these times, it's really yeah, it's a really good time to be in this awareness and taking some time out. And yeah, so I'm going to send this out to you, and it'll be interesting to see what you say, and especially in the changing of seasons. So in this case, we are now breaching from summer into autumn, and those changing times are always a bit more challenging for everyone. Obviously winters are more challenging for people, depends obviously where you are, but there's something to really take note and to slow down. And slow down for people doesn't mean self-care, so that's why I'm kind of focusing on self-care. Goodbye, aho, slán, slán, ciao.